Hi, I'm Jim, and I was retired. Now, Roth conversions in my DIY retirement are all about trade-offs. So I wait until the end of the year to plan for them. I have a better idea of how much gross and taxable income I can afford to take, given Affordable Care Act premium tax credits and the retirement exclusions here in New Jersey on state taxes. In this week's video, I look at some of those trade-offs as I review 3 scenarios for my 2024 Roth conversions. Stay tuned. Now, generally, the goal of Roth conversions is to take money out of your tax-deferred accounts and pay the taxes now at a lower rate, and then park that money in a tax-free Roth account for later in retirement. But the amount of gross income also will affect the cost you pay for pre-Medicare health care under the Affordable Care Act. And here in New Jersey, the gross income also reduces the retirement income exclusion. A dollar more than $100,000 in gross income, and you lose half of the exclusion of retirement income. And if you have a dollar more than $125,000 in gross income, you lose 75% of the retirement income exclusion. And a dollar more than $150,000 in gross income, you lose the exclusion entirely. All of your income will be taxed here in New Jersey. Now, many Roth conversion calculators on the internet don't include these trade-offs for ACA premium tax credits and state taxes. For instance, the Boldin Planner, which was formerly known as the New Retirement Planner, does a very good job of suggesting Roth conversions that will keep you within a tax bracket or help you avoid surcharges for Medicare in future years. And I've looked at the New Retirement now Boldin Roth Conversion Calculator before. You could take a look at it here. But it doesn't do anything on the ACA premium tax credits or your unique state situations. So I turned to my own DIY strategic withdrawal strategy spreadsheet to review 3 scenarios. Hey, before I go any further, please like and subscribe to this channel and hit that bell and share it with others if you like entertaining ideas from a DIY retiree. The more clicks and the more shares this gets, the higher it will be in the YouTube search algorithm. Boldin has a standalone 2024 Roth Conversion Calculator in addition to the Roth Conversion Explorer that they have with the full $120 a year subscription. This one is available for free, so you could check this out at this URL above and go check it out. You could plug in your age. Let's say we're going to do this for somebody who's 67, married, filing jointly with that adjusted gross income of $95,000 and get started. And it quickly shows you how much you could convert to go to the top of the 12% tax bracket and how much you could convert and still stay below the IRMA surcharges. That's the income-related monthly adjustment amounts that would apply to Part B and Part D premiums if you go over those levels. So avoid them if you can. So this is pretty easy, but it doesn't include the ACA, the Affordable Care Act premium tax credits, or specific state exclusions like New Jersey. So that's why I went to my own spreadsheet. And again, this is an example. I've taken a copy of the DIY sample that you could find on my Google Sites and adapted it for these 3 scenarios. The first thing I did was plug in the ages of our retired couple, 167, 163. They have about $95,000 worth of annual expenses. And as I've discussed before, I won't go through all of this spreadsheet, but I designed this. It's available on my Google Sites. It's pretty intricate. It's a little tricky too, but I've put the scenario in of this retired couple, and they have delayed Social Security. they have a very small pension, and everything else is taxable income from tax-deferred accounts or a Roth conversion. How much could they do? So what I did was first figure out the impact a higher gross income will have on the ACA tax credits. Now, you can do this on the Kaiser Family Foundation website for ACA, but it's better if you do it on a specific state one. So I went to Get Covered NJ and did my calculations with their Explorer. And based on everything from $55,000 in gross income to $160,000, I just plugged in $5,000 more in each row and recorded the results of what the estimated premium tax credit is, how much New Jersey would give. Now, this is one person coverage in the state of New Jersey, and it's $1,371 a month without any premium tax credits. With the adjustments, here's the resulting monthly premium, times that by 12. And then all I did was look at the added premium per $5,000 of adjusted gross income. That's the modified adjusted gross income, or MAGI, as I've talked about it before. This rolls up. And I've looked at specifically 3 rows. The scenario A is the $95,000 in adjusted gross income. And I'm going to say that's the base. And if you go up to 120, it would result in about $2,124 more in expenses for health care because of the adjusted gross income going up and losing the premium tax credits. This has nothing to do with the state income tax exclusion, which I'll get to in a bit. If you go all the way up to $160,000, then your premium tax credits disappear completely, and you're looking at $4,920 more in expenses because of the higher adjusted gross income. And all I did was I took those over to the main sheet of the page, which, again, I'm not going to explore all of this, but this is where everything plugs in, the balances of your account, how much you're planning to take out. And in this case, they have the pension, and they're planning to take out some from the IRA and some from a 401k. Now, of that $50,000, $15,000 is going to be a Roth conversion. And this goes all the way out and calculates the earnings for accounts and the expenses. $95,000 is the base case of expenses, and goes all the way through the state taxes. They're going to be in the a very low state tax. They're going to be in the 12% tax bracket. All I did was I took from the main sheet and I copied 2024's row completely and then pasted those values over here. So I pasted those here in these 3 rows, but it still scrolls forever because it's just that row pasted over here. And then to make things more manageable, I built this little table down here to model what I'm going to talk about. These are the 3 scenarios on my spreadsheet. You have one base where they have $95,000 in gross and a $15,000 Roth. The next case scenario is 120 in adjusted gross income and a $40,000 Roth conversion. And the final third case is 160 in gross income with about a $60,000 Roth. And again, the base case is well within the 12% tax bracket. Very low state tax. You're getting all of your retirement income is excluded. So this is just the tax on interest and dividends in this spreadsheet. That goes away once you go over 100,000. But if you're below 125,000, then only half of the exclusion goes away, and so your taxable state income goes up. And you're in a slightly higher tax bracket. That increases your state tax here. If you go over to the 160,000, you're going to go through the state tax retirement income exclusion completely, all of your income, see this 158, are both the same in the state of New Jersey after you pass 150,000 in gross. So again, these are the three scenarios. And by the way, the model where these three, it ends up with the gross income is slightly different, only because I'm allowing for the interest and dividends expectations in the accounts in my spreadsheet and adjusting it. My spreadsheet is a little clunky. I've admitted that here too, but it's doing the job for this model. To come out here to this expenses and taxes, and it shows that in the base case, your expenses and taxes are about $102,000 in the base case with that. This is pure expenses, not taxes, just expenses. So that adds the taxes. That's the base case. $120,000 would be about 6% higher, 5.98% precisely, in that scenario. And it's 14.71% if you go all the way up. You can see it dramatically increases once you go through the top of the 12% tax bracket and start to get into the 22% tax bracket. Lose the retirement exclusion completely and pay more for your health care. All of that adds up. Now, from the numbers above, I generated this chart to illustrate the three scenarios. And it shows that as the gross income goes up, the expenses go up, and so do the state taxes. And of these three scenarios, I think I'm going to stay within the 12% tax bracket and go with something closer to this one. I will conclude with my standard warning. I am not a professional planner or a tax planner. I have no initials after my name, so take these as entertaining ideas from one educated consumer to another. Always do your own due diligence and seek out a professional if you need one.